only takes a tiny corner of this great big world to find a place that you love. My home upon the hill, I find I love you still. I've been away, but now I'm back to tell you. San Francisco, open your golden gate. You let no stranger wait outside your door. San Francisco, here is your wandering one, saying I'll wander no more. Other places only make me love you best. Tell me you're the heart of all the Golden West. San Francisco, welcome me home again. I'm coming home to go roaming no more. San Francisco, open your golden gate. You let no stranger wait outside your door. San Francisco, here is your wandering one, saying I'll wander no more. Other places only make me love you best. Tell me you're the heart of all the Golden West. The Golden West. San Francisco, welcome me home again. I'm coming home to go roaming no more. Roaming no more.
Thank you, Beach Blanket Babylon, and thank you, Big City Review. I'm Michael Parrish. I'm the president of the board of directors of the St. Anthony Foundation. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome you to the grand opening of the new St. Anthony Dining Room. Before I start, I'd like to remind everybody this is a non-smoking event. St. Anthony's has been in San Francisco for 64 years. It embodies the openness and generosity of the city of San Francisco. Without this generosity, St. Anthony's would not have been able to serve 40 million years. And without the generosity of our community, we would not be serving meals on this corner in a place that used to be a converted auto body shop. We provide the most critical, basic services to many, many people. I'd like to thank everyone who made this day possible. Our volunteers, many, many volunteers. Our employees, our donors, thank you very much. Our sponsors, there's a list of them right here. In particular, I would like to thank our lead sponsor, McKesson Corporation. Thank you very much. I have the great honor of welcoming the president of the Board of Trustees of the St. Anthony Foundation, Father John Harden. Father John, many of you know, he was the former director of St. Anthony's, and he was the one who got the ball rolling on the new dining room. Rumor has it that back in 2004, he commissioned a feasibility study to see if we could raise the money for this new building. When the consultants came back and said they weren't sure if it could be done, Father John took that leap of faith and said, full speed ahead. God will provide. And God has provided. So thank you. Father John, if you could please come forward and offer your blessing to our gathering this morning.
Now, who's taking bets of how long it's going to take before I start crying? Gracious and loving God, we always give you thanks for the gift of life, especially on this day, the feast of St. Francis, our model and our guide. Bless all here present and those unable to be with us who have contributed so generously of their time, their talent, and their treasure to the creation of a new St. Anthony's dining room in order to continue the miracle of Jones Street. As we follow your instruction to feed the hungry, give clothing to the naked, constantly remind us that all that enter here are our brothers and sisters and are always to be treated with dignity and respect. Grateful for 64 years of service, we ask that you send down upon this new building your Spirit to make it a place of living stones of compassion, marked by the love of Father Alfred and Father Floyd, and many other friars who have walked with those in need. Amen.
Thank you, Father John, for that prayer and for all that you did to bring us here to this day. Thank you. I would now like to bring to the podium Barry Stenger. Barry is our executive director. As executive director, Barry had the task of completing the capital campaign, which he did extremely well, and we're thankful to him for that. But we're very, very lucky to have him as executive director. His knowledge, his wisdom, his kindness are a benefit to our entire community. So with that, I would like to welcome Barry to the stage.
Good morning and welcome to all of you for being here on this great day. It seems to me my responsibility is to kind of get you ready to enter the new dining room, and I was trying to figure out how to do that. So I get real practical here. I want all of you to take your hands, put your fingers on your temples, look up a little bit and go, ooh. Okay, then look over this way and go, ah. So you're ready? Ready. My work is done here. No, today, St. Anthony Foundation is taking a bold step into the future. Today, we are opening the doors to so much more. We're opening the doors to more meals, more help for those in need, and more hope. And that hope is not a groundless hope. No, in fact, we've been standing solidly on this ground for 64 years of history. 64 years ago today, the old dining room was dedicated at this very spot. In fact, the line of hungry people queuing up along Golden Gate Ave has been going on for more than 100 years. It started up after the earthquake. People came to the friars for help. The Franciscan friars have remained true to their founder, St. Francis, the patron of this city. Those friars have seen in those who are poor their own brothers and sisters. They have remained true to all of you who are struggling. True to you who share this journey toward the community for which we all have been created. It was that vision that inspired Father Alfred back in 1950 to think about creating a place where people just wouldn't get a meal and sit on the curb and eat it, but they would have a dining room, tables around which to share that meal. I was hoping today that one of the friars who's now in a rest home in Oakland could be here, Brother Anthony Lavorin, who used to help Father Alfred make sandwiches here and distribute them out the gate up there on Golden Gate a little bit. He was the one we hear who said to Father Alfred, you know, there's that building next door, that old garage, that maybe we could make into the dining room that you want so badly. He helped him make the sandwiches and helped him acquire that building. Brother Anthony, Father Alfred, Father Floyd, all the friars who've been part of this, they knew they were called to do more than just fill empty stomachs. They knew that these people, that all of us should be sitting around a table and creating a community that maybe just once in a while we would catch a glimpse of ourselves as brothers and sisters created in God's image. Today, as we stand on this holy ground and celebrate this great accomplishment, I'm reminded of a couple of things that Father Alfred used to say. Father Alfred, and I hope the press is listening here, Father Alfred would get very upset when some newspaper person talked about the soup kitchen. He would insist that this is not a soup kitchen, this is a dining room. When you enter this building today, you will know exactly what he was talking about. This is a dining room. Look around. Look at the ceiling. Look at the brand new tables and chairs. Look at the natural light coming in the windows. This is not a soup kitchen. This is a dining room. You who are our daily guests, who line up here every day, will enter this dining room today and look around and realize that this beautiful place was built for you. You'll see the spanking new kitchen and you'll realize that you deserve more than scraps that fall from people's tables. When someone serves you and says good morning, when you visit a social worker up in the second floor or try on a brand new set of clothes, I hope you realize that you are better than what living on the streets can sometimes make you feel like. The other phrase that Father Alfred used to use all the time, and it's already been used this morning, is that this is the miracle on Jones Street. When we look at this new building, just the beauty of this new space may elicit the language of the miraculous. But what really inspired Father Alfred to call this the miracle on Jones Street was the generosity of our donors. We've never closed the door. We've kept feeding people whenever they show up. It's a miracle that people step forward and contribute the way they have. I'm going to have to pick up the paper that just flew over here. That miracle continues, and you are all part of it. There's people who have stepped up to make this work. Our great board of directors, present and past, our staff, our many volunteers. Today we have with us the Nibby brothers, the contractors who built this great building. We have representatives from our architects, H-Kit. When you see the details inside, you'll appreciate their work so much more. We have people who have helped us by Mercy Housing, who's built the top 8 floors of low-income senior housing. They partnered with us to make this happen. People who've helped us with financing this project, Bank of America and Northern California Community Loan Fund. Our elected officials who are here today. You're all part of the miracle. Yes, I expect elected officials are not often thanked for miracles that you're doing, but you've stood by us and helped us, and you are part of the miracle. And then there are our donors, the Corrette Foundation, Ray and Joan Robinson, William G. Irwin Charity Foundation, Dignity Health, Charles and Helen Schwab, Warren Hellman and his family. The list goes on and on. All people who recognized that this was a special project and they wanted to be involved in. Donors, big and small, families who have for generations been part of this miracle. Finally, this is an extraordinary moment in the history of this organization and in the history of this city. As a nonprofit, we're used to making do with what we have. So we put things together, we make it work. So to have something like this is extraordinary. To be serving meals, 3,000 meals a day sometimes, in a dining room that was built to be a dining room. To be preparing those meals in a kitchen that was meant to be a kitchen. This is extraordinary for us. This is also an extraordinary moment in the history of this city. You've heard that there's a battle going on here in San Francisco, particularly here in the Tenderloin. Some say it's a battle over real estate. Some say it's a battle over housing. Others say it's about jobs. It's a political battle. It's an economic battle. Yes, it's all those things, I'm sure. But I believe it's a battle for the heart of our city. By raising up this building, we are saying that there is a place in this city, a place in the city of St. Francis for those who are poor. This beautiful dining room, these affordable housing units, this new social work center and clothing program are clear statements that yes, there is a place in this city, there always has been a place in this city for those who have more than what they need. But there is also a place for those who are in need. If there's a battle going on, then this building is our flag in the ground. It tells those who may be wavering that yes, we are a great city. We're not a suburban enclave. We're not a ghetto. We're not a gated community. We are a truly diverse city with room for all. This place is a symbol of a city with a big heart, a city with a vision. It's a vision that matches that of our patron, St. Francis. Today, as we celebrate his feast, today, as we celebrate the opening of this space, we celebrate a vision that sees in those who will line up along this arcade brothers and sisters. It's a vision that sees in the people who will be sitting at these tables brothers and sisters. Today, we celebrate that we all are brothers and sisters in a city where every once in a while we catch a glimpse that says, together, we are all children of God. Thank you. Whenever we gather at St. Anthony's, I've been reminded, especially, and I can't forget it now, that the most important people here, yes, we have celebrities and chiefs and elected officials, the most important people at any gathering of St. Anthony's is our guests. And so we'd like to have a guest come up and share with you today. Del Seymour is a longtime guest at St. Anthony's, and like all of our guests, Del is resilient and resourceful. He's used our tech lab to start his own business. He has a group that he conducts tours of the Tenderloin, and people come from all over the country now so that Del can take them on a tour. So I'm honored to have with us today one of our guests, Del Seymour. Please, Del.
You know, when I was walking here this morning, coming down Jones, a guy asked me, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No, I got this piece of cake." And then I turned this corner. Wow, this is amazing. Barry, thank you for giving me the promotion about my Tenderloin walking tours. And you know, my tours are kind of similar to the tours in the White House tours, except mine, I escort you. You catch it? You know, I asked Barry the other day, why was I chosen to be up here this morning? And he reiterated that they've served 40 million meals here at St. Anthony's, and he's accused me of eating 332,000. But I ate a few at Glide also. No. This morning I want to thank the mayor for providing those wonderful bathrooms in the Tenderloin. He's provided us with 6 bathrooms. 6 bathrooms is like 6,000 when you need to go. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, Chief Sir, for making our streets a little cleaner and safer. And thank you, Captain Jason, for making it a friendlier place. Chief White, your units are on this block every day, all day long. And I'm an ex-paramedic myself, so don't let them see you sweat. You got it, okay? You got it. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You know, there's a group of folks here involved with St. Anthony's that really doesn't get a lot of recognition. And those are the men that are in recovery. The men are in the back room washing the dishes every day, 365 days a year. These cats are involved in the biggest fight of their life right now. They're fighting every day for their sobriety and their recovery and their deliverance. And this is the perfect place to do it. So thank you, guys. A couple of months ago, I had a young lady on my tour, and she said her last name was Pelosi. And I says, oh, you have a very powerful mother. She says, no, she has a very powerful daughter. And by that, I knew that she was a Pelosi. So I was at Original Joe's the other night, and the owner, Mr. Dugan, was saying how world-class facility he's got there in North Beach. I says, well, you haven't been to the new St. Anthony's. You know, we're going to call this Lunch at Tony's. This is a world-class place, so let's do a world-class name, Lunch at Tony's. So as I close here, you know, it's a trip because I'm sitting in a chair next to Nancy Pelosi, and I used to sleep right here. I used to sleep right here. Isn't that crazy? God has a sense of humor, I tell you. This is just completely nuts. So as I leave here, and you know what? Me and all these people here, I'm sure we had something better to do this morning than to come down to the Tenderloin. So when people start saying this is a forgotten neighborhood, they don't know what they're talking about. Look at all these folks here. And you're here not for yourselves, you're here for our clients. And I think that's amazing. It's Saturday morning, come on. So as I finish up before I get put off, I just want you all to remember, you're here today for a job, to do a job. But let me tell you, folks, the job ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. In a couple hours, after they move these seats here, it'll be about 60 people sleeping right where you're sitting. So trust and believe, the job is not over. We got St. Boniface next door, and Monday through Friday, we have 120, 150 people sleeping in a church on pews every day. Job's not over, folks. Job's not over. Thank you.
Thank you, Del, very much for your insightful perspective. I definitely would like to go on a tour and learn a lot about what is going on in this neighborhood. I'm now pleased to invite a St. Anthony's volunteer to the stage. That's how we got to know her. Most of you would know her as House Democratic Leader Nancy Pelosi. She's been here year after year with her children and her grandchildren volunteering in the dining room. We're very appreciative. Leader Pelosi is a longtime friend of St. Anthony's, but an even longer time friend of those who struggle. Whether it's the struggle to put food on the table, the struggle to earn equal pay for equal work, or the struggle for affordable housing. We're proud of her service and proud to have this fellow San Franciscan here with us today, House Democratic Leader Nancy Pelosi.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know about you, but I don't have any other better place to be than here. This is the most important work and the most important, best way to spend our time. Since Del mentioned my daughter, I'll get right to family, because isn't this a family affair? We have Michael, whose family, the Hellman family, have been a part of every great thing that has happened in our city. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you so much, Michael, for your leadership. We have the Nibbies, who have been so wonderful across the board in our city, in this beautiful, beautiful building. Thank you to the Nibbies and to all of the construction workers who made this such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful structure. We have the official family of San Francisco, our great mayor, our two supervisors, Scott Wiener and Supervisor Kim, who are here, the chief, the captain, so many people part of the official family. We have Father Lotito's sister, May Lotito, Father Floyd's sister. I don't know where she is right now. Right there, May. And we have Father Alfred's nephew, who is here as well. Nephew, down there, nephew. But it's interesting to see how this goes from one generation to the next. You talked, Michael, thank you beautifully, about the one day that we have one time of the year that we have our entire family who my 5 children live all over the country. The one day they come together is for Thanksgiving. And we come here. And when we come here, at the beginning, Father Floyd would be welcoming these little children and my children. And I said, Father, what has inspired you? And he said, May, he said, my parents taught us that God loved poor people in a very special way, and so that we must treat them in a very special way. And that's why I never burn out. I always have that mission. What a beautiful, beautiful thought. Well, just to, as family, many of us were gathered here last year, remember, Mayor? No, 2 years ago, almost, but not 2 full years ago. In like January, February of 2012, hole in the ground. How many were here for the hole in the ground? Remember? They told me that we're going to be at a construction site, but nonetheless, I had on heels about this high. And we walked, one of you told me, into the mud pit together. My guide is here today. Where are you? Tyrone Hopper. Remember Tyrone? How beautifully he spoke that day? And in the spirit of family, he's here with his wife today. And now you're a member of the board, is that correct? Tyrone? Tyrone is? Yes, indeed. But he really inspired us that day, which gets us back to Michael's point and to Barry's point. The VIPs here are the people are here to serve. The VIPs are the volunteers who are here to make it all happen. I would just like to take a little half a moment to thank you for all of that, but also for helping us with the public policy that made this housing possible. Because it is always a fight, especially recently. We had new market tax credits, which has supplied over $10 million of opportunity. HUD, with the mayor's leadership, we got the HUD grant of $12 million. And the low-income tax credit, which we've worked with Mercy Housing all over the city on, but in this case, $16 million. And so that public policy that you help us, and how you help us is not only by advocating for it, but setting examples of national significance, model for the country, how communities work together for the good of the country. And so here we are. Now, I've heard the beautiful prayer that Father Hardin gave. It was so beautiful. Feast of St. Francis. Make me an instrument of thy peace. His song of St. Francis is the anthem of our city. And he has made all of you, this board, these people, the people we serve, instruments of God's peace. That prayer has been answered. The other prayer that everybody makes is we always pray to God to bless our work. Please bless our work. But the fact is, God has already blessed his work, so why don't we just go right to doing God's work? And that is already blessed. That's what you are doing today. Thank all of you for that. It's my honor to be here. My honor to be here with all of you. I will now yield back my time with great appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Pelosi. A casual scan of our skyline reveals all the construction cranes and reminds us there's a lot of building going on. For a mayor, that can mean a lot of openings and ribbon cuttings. I doubt that Mayor Lee can get to all of those ribbon cuttings and all of those events, but I know that this one was important to him, and we thank him for being here. Not too many buildings in this city are built for those in our city who can't afford the high rents and the majestic views. But this building is for those without. I know for Mayor Lee, affordable housing is a very high priority in the city, and we're very appreciative of that. I give you Ed Lee, Mayor of the great city of San Francisco.
Good morning. All right, this is fun to be here. Leader Pelosi, you continue to inspire me and our city's family. Thank you for your wonderful leadership. Michael and the board of directors and the entire staff and the volunteers that are here every single day, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And if I may say on behalf of our supervisors that are here, our city agencies, our chiefs, our construction family, their workers, I want to say thank you again to St. Anthony's for providing us the opportunity to help more people. You're right, Barry and Father Hardin, Michael, that we are building brand new, permanently affordable, low-income housing in the Tenderloin in San Francisco, and we will do more and more of that. I just want to say that it's more than just a commitment. We will demonstrate, and certainly with the help of Supervisor Kim and Scott Wiener, we will work together to make sure that housing will be built for those in need. I've always felt that this wonderful community is a representation of the connections that it is our responsibility to make in San Francisco. Yes, there is great wealth and success in this city. Absolutely, there is deep poverty in the city. It is our role to make the connection, to make sure that the family grows, to make sure success is for the 100%. And this is that example. Where else would you say you'll find here the San Francisco Giants helping the serve? Warren Hellman is here all the time in spirit, and how coincidental that the Harley Strictly Bluegrass is at the same time as the opening of the St. Anthony's as another example. Yes, the Schwabs, Wells Fargo, McKesson, all of that. And then you pour in the great historic foundations like Corrette, Susan Corrette, like the SF Foundation. You know, I know Leader Pelosi always knows the details of this because she's there whenever we're saying we need this complicated massing of these connections in order to make this work. It doesn't come with just a recognition of need. It also comes with the work behind it to put together the HUD funds, the tax credits, the nonprofits like Mercy and St. Anthony's together, all of this. And it's because we recognize something else that I want to make sure everybody knows. Here at St. Anthony's, known for serving meals like 3,000 and more a day. But it's not just about the meal. The meal is a way to connect up with people. Human nourishment and the serving of that meal is kind of like a prayer to touch people. It goes from serving the meal to looking each other in the eye to find out what it is that we need help. And then the hearts open, and then the embracement of additional services, the sharing of the hardship stories of what people have gone through, and then the connection to other support and services to allow success in life to begin happening. And it happens here every single day at St. Anthony's. So it's our job to recognize that connection to all the other things that people struggle in life, and then to provide the service and support so that the meal becomes the connection to all the other things that we ought to be doing to lift people's lives. And it is in that spirit that I would like to declare today, not St. Anthony's Dining Room, but Tony's Dining Room Day here in San Francisco. Barry, come on up.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for this wonderful celebration. Let's go on to opening this and celebrating, but also making more of the connections for people's lives. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor is right. Let's get on with this. So thank you, Mayor Lee. At this moment, I'd like to invite all the ribbon cutters to their positions, and some of those are sitting out here. So if Marilyn Tan, one of our guests, would come up, with Carmelita Lozano, one of our volunteers, to come up, Kelvin Anderson, one of our staff from our Client Safety Services, our own District 6 Supervisor Jane Kim, Police Chief Greg Sir, Fire Chief Joanne Hayes White. There are spots here for you to stand. Take your spots.
I'm going to try and remove this.
Yes.
Supervisor.
So now we will have, excuse me, right there. I'm back here.
Where's the sword? Oh my God!
Got him right here.
I hope I don't cut my toe off.
Don't worry. Cut my toe off.
Joanne's here.
I just want to cut my ponytails off.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
1, 2,
3.
In a moment, I will invite legendary